in doing your social media calendar content, and all of that. The number one thing, obviously, and you hear this all the time, I'm sure, but consistency. So consistency in your brand, consistency in your messaging, consistency in your content, consistency in your social media, really everything from a brand point of view. And what we like to talk about just on this one slide is your brand makes up all of these different categories. So your brand is not just about marketing and advertising, but it's also about your logo and your design of your logo, what the look and feel is, the identity of your brand, the fonts, and also what you give to your client. Do you instill trust? What are the value? What's your unique value proposition? The strategy as well. So all of these things make up your brand. It's not only what you do and say, but it's also how you make people feel. And in social media, that's one of the things that you really want to, be doing, and making sure you're not just putting out content, but you're making people feel a certain way, or they're seeing videos of you. Before we get into the other slides, this one slide I just want to briefly talk about is when you're talking about your brand, always starting off with this framework here. And this is an exercise that came out of Mega Camp in the summertime, but it's positioning yourself and knowing who you're talking to, who's your target audience, your company name, what do they do? What are the benefits that they provide, and why do you provide that benefit, and how do you provide that benefit? That all helps clearly define how your brand is different from other realtors, because you'll see a lot of realtors are posting the same type of content. So this is just a statement that really helps define your brand. And it also, it should be used throughout everything that you do. It should be used in your on your website, on your bio on Instagram or social. So just, taking the time to actually do this exercise and kind of saying what your brand stands for really helps in the long run from a strategy point of view. So today we're going to talk about creating your social media plan. I actually took this class. These are some slides from a class that I took by Katie Lance, who works with real estate agents. And it was such a great class that Reese and I kind of wanted to take you through some of the slides. So number one, she goes into time blocking your schedule. Obviously, you guys from a real estate perspective all know this, but really getting into that routine. And they say every day, daily, focus on those 5 things that you have to do. 5 to me even sounds overwhelming. So even focus on that one thing that you need to get done for that day. And then take time every day to respond to all comments and notifications on social media. So it's not just about, posting on social, but it's also about engaging with your social audience.
And I just want to add to that is that, the demographic of how people use social media changes so often.
That's a good point.
Yep. Don't get like, oh my God, no one liked my post. The reason you want to use a business page, and if you end up wanting to share it on your personal page, definitely share it from your business page, is because the business page allows you to see how many people actually viewed your post. So although you might only get 2 likes, if 500 people actually saw your post, it's all about the actual impression and top of mind. It's not necessarily how many likes did I get. Instagram, people scroll through to like things, but Facebook has changed so much over time that it's consistently changing of how people use it. I know, think about it. When you're on Facebook, not in your real estate brain, or in your real estate brain, when you're doing a business, you want to make sure you're liking things so that they see that you're interacting with them. But from a personal level, when you're scrolling, unless it's your family, say you followed someone, you're not in real estate, let's just pretend, or you follow someone that owns a clothing store or a plumbing store, whatever it is, and you see their post, do you usually like it or comment on it? Probably not, unless it's really asking you a question or it's something that you really like. which can be helpful because maybe the ones that you do get 2 likes, 4 likes, maybe you start gearing next month more towards those type of social posts. So don't get so engulfed in, I got no likes on this post, it's more about impressions and keeping the focus on your business. And that's why branding is so important across your platforms, because even though they might not like it, they're going to remember, oh, the girl with the red, the red scarf or whatever your branding is. They're going to remember that even if they don't like your post. I know personally, I don't, on my personal page, if my personal profile, if I follow any real estate agents or stores, I usually don't end up liking the stuff. I look at it, I'm like, oh, that's cool, and keep scrolling. So don't get, I know a lot of people get engulfed in the whole liking thing. Nowadays, it's really not that important. It's good to see what people are really, really interested in, but it's not like people aren't seeing your posting.
Yeah. And this is more responding to people that are commenting on your post. So if someone is, oh, that's great, or asking a question, that's when you also really want to make sure you're definitely engaging. From a weekly time perspective. So they say plan each week 30 to 60 minutes, and I'm going to definitely say go with the 60 minutes to schedule your content. There's calendars, there's a calendarlabs.com. There's a free printable calendar for each month. We've also gone over in one of our social classes how to do this through Google Docs. But take the time and actually plan out the month. For each week, definitely put 30 to 60 minutes aside and say what you're going to do for that week and plan it out.
Yeah, for example, like last night, I'm the head of our transaction team as well. And last night I spent a little less than an hour planning the entire month, and we're going to be posting, 3 to 4 times a week. And even if I don't know, like I made Mondays where it's like personal, behind the scenes, like what is the team doing? What kind of coffee did we get? Something that's personable. I just wrote the topic of what that Monday is going to be so that I know I can schedule that in my calendar, grab a photo of, writing up a contract or whatever it is. You don't actually have to create all the content. For example, if you know that every week in January, you have a new listing, I would plan what day you're going to list that property. And if put that day and maybe make just the template of the just listed post. And then when you get the photos, all you have to do is add the photo in. You already have the template of the design ready to go. You have the write-up. I would highly recommend doing the write-up. Usually is more of a procrastination task than actually creating the post. Creating the post to people can be fun. The writing part, that's like, I know from experience, a lot of people do not like that. So make sure that you're doing the full planning. That's why it's going to take an hour. You're not just like pulling this article here, taking this picture here. You want to write the caption so that you can schedule all these things. And even if you have a new listing, you obviously can't schedule it yet because you don't have the photos or, to finish the design. Write the whole entire caption. I'm sure you know what customer marks you're going to be putting. Reorganize them into a caption, call me today. Then all you have to do is copy and paste. It makes your life so much easier. And at first, obviously, you're going to probably be like, oh, this is such a time suck. But 1 hour versus, rambling around, figuring out, oh my God, I have to post this today, I don't have the post ready, is going to cause you so much less stress. And you're going to know that it's not just about your real estate. I actually sent something to Casey last night that is kind of what Casey and I always preach, but it put it in a better perspective, is that no one wants to see, they want to see your listings. They want to see what's going on in the market, but they want to know what you're doing too. What restaurants you like to go to, what books you're reading, what concerts you're looking at, what you're like, your playlist for when you work out, when you are in the car, like
I want to get personal.
Exactly. They want to know your life. So planning out your personal post, which a lot of real estate agents called filler posts, can help so much because you're always going to have deals. You're always going to have buy side deals, showings. We always recommend taking videos of or if there's very unique things in people's houses, post those, but planning the filler posts and your personal posts can save you so much time over the long run. I plan out 1 hour for the entire month and I have every single post already created. All I have to do is schedule it. So does Casey for luxury.
Yeah.
So
And it's better because you just don't, it just takes the time out of having to think about, oh, what am I going to post today? So just taking that time to do it really helps. There are also some goals that she goes through from a month perspective. So weekly was every, 30 to 60 minutes. Monthly, she has planned 2 to 4 hours a month to batch create your content. So creating videos that you're going to use through the month.
No one has to know you took it last month. No one's going to know.
No one's going to know. And no one's also going to know if you reuse a video from 3 months ago. So making your content more generic, and they call it evergreen, making your content last is also really great. So, you're not always just talking about seasonal things, you're talking more generic.
Yeah. So like say you wanted to do once a month, you do a video tip, as long as you keep it general, the video tip isn't going to expire in this case. A seller tip, decluttering. People are always going to need to declutter their home. It doesn't matter what season it is, or you can plan evergreen content that is seasonal, but it's not that you have to for market update. You need to, that needs to be something where you take the video, post it within that week. But if you do if you create a video, maybe change up your outfit, sweater for the winter, but you can still take all these videos in one day, fall, make sure the leaves are cleaned out of your gutter, December, obviously passed, but these are just ideas, make sure that you're checking your heater, that it's not gonna, all of a sudden go out, spring, make sure you do your spring cleaning, summer, plan your family vacation or get your house ready for a oasis in your backyard. Those are all home tips that are going to happen every single season. It's not going to expire like a market update or, even the market's hot. I mean, it seems like the market's going to be hot forever, but it might not be. So you don't want to schedule that, you don't want to plan that for spring and then the market slows down and it's not the same way it is now. So even if it is evergreen, but you can still make it seasonal or specific to months, even if you want to do happy holidays and do a video for once a month or something that I think is really cool. I saw an agent post every month. He does a Facebook post and tags everyone whose birthdays it is. What you could do is make a video and post a video that says, happy birthday, hope you have a great birthday, and tag everyone on it in Facebook that you're friends with, that birthday is that month. That's a great way to them realizing, oh, that's really nice. They didn't just write on my wall, they had a video for me that they tagged me. And, videos I know is the number one thing agents hate to do, but it's the number one thing agents aren't doing. So if you do it, it's going to make you stand out. And it's something that's very unique that you can incorporate in posting articles, doing posts, stories, making videos can help you really, even if you, like I said, if you hate doing videos, promise yourself and make a commitment to do one a month. That's it. One a month. It could be something, like I said, if you want to plan it out so you don't have the stress of having to remember or, where you're like, oh, I don't look good, I don't want to do the video, plan it so it is that evergreen material so that you can just post it whenever it's ready. Like we said, if you're going to do an evergreen seasonal, just make sure you change the outfit so that they don't know, you're in your tank top and it's winter. So, just do that. But if you don't like videos, I think that's a great way to start off is doing evergreen videos. And then once you get comfortable, do one where you're in front of your listing, do one walking through a house, maybe a market update, but I would say commit to one video a month to get comfortable. And as you get more comfortable, you'll realize that maybe those are the posts that people are interacting with more.
Yeah.
I have a question, Reese. When
Yeah.
you're saying doing all this, is this your business page and then sharing it? Or
I would always recommend posting on your business page because like I said, you can see those impressions. If you post on your personal page, if you don't get any likes, you're not going to know who's looking at it. So I would recommend, and so that people know you have a business page, always post it on your business page. And then from your personal profile, share it to your personal profile from your business page.
Okay.
And you could also use Facebook to post to your Instagram too, so that that way, if you're using your business page, you're using the business tools so that you can post to both channels. And the last thing that she says, which I think is one of Katie's best tips, is plan 1 to 2 days at the end of the year to evaluate your plan from the year before. So what did you do last year that worked? What did you do that didn't work? What are some of those posts that got the best engagement, the best likes, and the most likes and the best comments? So just take a look, and what you'll probably find, because I've done this with some agents, is the ones that are getting the most posts aren't necessarily are listing a house. It's more the personal posts. People like to see what you're doing personally. And we're going to get into that a little bit. So obviously we're in the service of real estate. Relationships are key. So relationships are built with small interactions over the course of time. So consistently putting out that message from a social media standpoint really, really helps build those relationships and build future clients. So remember that. One of Katie's tips that she talks about is also creating pillar content that you can commit to each month. So like Reese just said, maybe it's your goal of making 1 video each month. Pillar content is usually content that requires extra time or money or resources. So valuable information that's not in your voice, and it's not something that's already canned or something that is generic. So it's really, pillar content is something from your tone and your voice. So a video is the perfect example. And then decide what type of content you'd like to create on a consistent basis, and then pick a day, once or twice a month, that you're actually publishing it. And you can batch create the content each month. So you can create, like we were just talking about, you can create multiple videos. You don't have to post all the videos at the same time, but you can create multiple videos that you might use that month or in the next month. I love this.
I want to show you guys, like, for example, my content calendar for the TC program. Like I said, I just finished it yesterday. So what I did is, like,
Want to share it?
Can you see it?
Nope, I stopped sharing. There we go.
Okay. So at the top above the days, I'm only going to post Monday through Friday. That's just my preference for my program. But so I made it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And at the top, I post because I'm going to have specific topics that are those specific days. You don't have to do this. There's so many ways you can lay out your calendar. This is just one way I do it. I know some other people that, have hired the TC team to do their socials. They wanted it to be the exact same topic every day, but obviously different posts every week. So on Monday, it's going to be office/personal posts. So what our coffee order is, what our office looks like, internal posts. Wednesdays is going to be about our services, something that's specific about a package we have or a deal we have going on, or, as you can see, new look, same A+ service. We just redid all of our flyers to make them look a little differently. And then Fridays, it's free social/free tip. So we're going to be posting, and you can keep your eye out on this. We have a business page as well. We're going to be posting either a free social for you guys to share on your page, or a free tip that, you can create into a post, or a tip that could help you guys, better your business. So that's kind of how I laid it out. And you can see I have the whole month planned. And that means that once I review this with the team, I'm going to go ahead, schedule this so that everything's already posted. I don't have to worry about it. That's the key. You want to have one day where you're planning, and obviously that can be a little overwhelming and it can take time. So you can either schedule for the whole month, or if there's a day of the week where you kind of do a lot of back end stuff, you don't usually schedule showings, or maybe you do, but most of your day is back end work. Every Friday, I plan to schedule the following week. That just works better for me. But if you think that on a monthly basis, scheduling works better for you, then I would recommend doing that. It's nice because there are multiple options, but obviously it can be overwhelming on which one's the correct one. I would recommend either scheduling everything once a month, or picking a day of the week where you block that out. That's, schedule posts, and you schedule for the following week. It can be very helpful. Maybe if you want to just batch content, but you don't know what exact weeks you want to post. You know, if it makes more sense to you to bulk as a month instead of, you know, specific days of the week. It's very endless, but like Casey and I recommend, to stay organized, it's best to do it on a calendar. And then, you know, if you need to take a break, do the next day and schedule all the posts, because you want to see how the whole month is going to look before you start scheduling those posts, because you might want to switch them around or the order that they go in, or maybe you have 2 back to back of kind of similar content that you want to spread out. You know, that's why you'd want to do it on a calendar to kind of see where everything lays out before scheduling. So always recommend doing the content planning and then the content scheduling afterwards.
Yep. And that's also good, just to add, because you're seeing also what holidays are coming up for the month. You're seeing everything, so you could kind of, you know, tailor your content towards that. So this is something great that she shared, and it's true. Most people retain 95 of the message in a video compared to only 10% of what they read. So obviously, no one's reading a lot. People want video. People are focused on videos. People are listening and watching videos. So when Reese was talking about, you know, even adding into your content schedule what you're going to say, what your post is actually going to be, what the copy is going to be, make it minimal because no one's reading, you know, a lot, and maybe go with a video message.
Video's the way right now.
It is. And this is also great. So what does it feel like to work with you? You want to make sure that you're getting that point across in your social content. So whether that's a video, it could be a post or a picture, but you want to make sure that you're engaging with your audience so that they can really understand and have some type of emotion that correlates themselves with your brand. Brainstorm what your brand is about and find your voice for your content. So again, we talk about consistency, but you want everything that you're posting to kind of be from your own point of view and from your own voice. So what type of clients do you love to work with and why? You know, why do you love what you do? Think of, those are good questions to kind of find your voice and help create some content. What is most important to you professionally? What is important to you personally? So kind of writing down these questions helps, and answering them, it helps you kind of form your content and what you're gonna, you know, what you're gonna say.
Yeah, like if you are working on, you work at a, you know, you work with a specific charity, or you work with, maybe you volunteer somewhere, like don't not post that. Like people want to see, you know, everyone nowadays I feel is all about the community. You know, everyone knows a real estate agent, you know, but they don't know you. So let them know personally what you enjoy. And like Casey said, what they're getting besides just the usual real estate agent things. You know, what is your brand? You know, do you always donate? You know, if you donate every single closing, let people know that. Like people want to, you know, if people are really into charity, that could be a way that you get a new client versus them going with someone else. Is if you donate, you know, for example, 5% of your commission to different charities of your choice. You know, maybe there's, maybe you have, and a great thing is that if there's certain things that you do every day, or even if it's like you use the same people for closing gifts, or you use the same people for, you know, cleaning services, vendors is huge, because if you make relationships with them and they see that you're posting them consistently, you know, saying this is my preferred, you know, cleaning, moving, whatever it is, that's not only going to give your clients and consumers, you know, oh, you know, Casey thinks this person's great. I look, they have a bunch of reviews. Let's call them. And whenever you post that, say, you know, tell them Casey sent you. Like make sure to add that to the post, because that could build a huge relationship, because those are the people that are going to know who's moving. If someone, you know, is hiring a person to get them new furniture, odds are that they're getting new furniture to stage or to make their home better. If someone's doing a deep clean of their house, most likely, unless they just like to be clean, if it's a deep clean, most likely maybe they have the potential of moving. So building those relationships, not only with your consumers and showing them who you prefer and who are your VIP, you know, suggestions, it'll build relationships with those vendors too, to refer to you, which is what you want. You want to refer people to them, but the reason you do that is so that they can refer back to you and they know that you are moving towards, building a better relationship with them. It's all about community building, although it might not get you someone, maybe even this year. If you consistently post about a business, they're going to remember you. And they're going to be like, if someone asks them, oh, do you know a real estate agent? They're gonna be like, oh yeah, this person's great. She refers business to us all the time. All her clients have only had said great things about her, all the clients that we've worked with. So always a great idea to do that. Even send, if they have a anniversary of their business, send them a video, say happy anniversary, post about your personal. You kind of want to hit all the factors. Obviously your business, that's a given though. That's something you don't really have to plan and think about. You want to post about your allied resources, which are your vendors, people you use, restaurants you like to go to. Something that could be huge for consumers is somewhere that you always have family gatherings at. Is there a restaurant you always go to for birthdays or anniversaries or something that you can say, they always make our special day even better? Posting about what you do, your favorite coffee drink, people are nosy. They want to know what you're doing every day. So making sure you have every month something real estate related, community related, vendor related, personal related, and then, you're kind of given to have a holiday every month. So that's already more than one post a week that you could have automatically just by hitting those 5 things. And then again, if you want to start out just with 1 post a week for filler, then as you get more comfortable, move up to 2, then move up to 3. There you go. Every month you're going to have 5 posts just by hitting those 5 specific topics.
Yep. And we'll go through it a little bit more. There's actually a calendar in here that she has, like a sample calendar. And this is also really important too, because you want to make sure, decide on your distribution plan for your content. Where are you posting it? Are you only posting it to Facebook? Are you posting it to Facebook and Instagram? Do you not really go on Instagram? That you need to be comfortable with where you're posting your content also. So don't just post to post. Make sure that you are active in that social channel. So if you're not comfortable with YouTube, don't start doing, YouTube videos right off the bat. Start with what you're comfortable doing and then kind of grow yourself. So she has a sample weekly schedule, and this is similar. A lot of this stuff is similar to what Reese and I have done over in some of our other classes, but she starts it off with every Monday, doing a Monday market update. And then for her Instagram page, the top one over here is for Facebook. And then for Instagram, she has the Monday market update as a post, and then she also has an Instagram story. So doing it both ways. Tuesdays, she has uploading a new video and whatever that content's going to be. She does that on her Facebook. She also does that on her Instagram. And she adds a YouTube link to her Instagram profile. And then she's also doing that on YouTube as well. Wednesdays are Wednesday Wisdom. So she's doing that on Facebook and Instagram. Thursday, Throwback Thursday, right? You can do an old picture of you. You can do an old picture of something in real estate, something with your client. So anything really. And I think people are still doing Throwback Thursdays. Friday, reshare the video as a new post, create an Instagram story about the video. So using the post that you've already done and resharing it again. That's called rinse and reusing. Saturday, list of open houses for the weekend. And it doesn't just have to be your open houses. It could be open houses in your town. Sunday, community posts. So what Reese was just talking about, getting involved in your community, whether that's a charity or a vendor in your community. And she has posting a fun fact about it. So there are a lot of different ways and, ways to get involved with posting, but keeping it consistent. So keeping every Monday on Monday markets, doing every Wednesday Wisdom, a quote, Thursdays, Throwback Thursdays. So there's a lot of different ways, and this helps just setting out, taking the time to do this just really helps kind of, so you don't have to think about it. This is what we also just talked about, repurposing your content. if you have a video, you can reuse it. If you have a post, you can reuse it and add different text to the post. So there's a lot of different ways to repurpose your content. I think we kind of went over this in a lot of detail earlier. These are some more examples. She has a content grid, and these are some of the categories that she uses. So one of them is real estate, her personal real estate. Another category is national real estate. So links from articles. Reese and I go over this also, where you can get a lot of these resources, but from KW, we have a lot of these resources. Homekeeper is one great blog where you can get articles from. So there's a lot of different ways you can use some of the national real estate articles or stats. Local and community. So again, we talked about this, posting a picture of your favorite restaurant or boutique in town, your favorite park. Those are all really great things and great ways, to show local and community involvement. Personal interest.
I was just going to say, for community wise, get to know your demographic. So if you have young kids, tailor to them, because those are the people that you can have that niche group within that. If you do a book club in your community, or you go to the library, I know libraries have events every single week, whether they read books to kids, they have yoga, they have all these different types of events. Find your niche within the community. If you do have young kids, talk about the summer camp, talk about, things going on that are tailored to kids, because that will give you that opportunity to have a community post that is tailored to people that maybe you have a better relationship within the community. If you have a specific, maybe your family is involved with the fire department or something specific, you want to niche the community. Obviously, you still want to do like regular community posts, if it's community day, post about community day, but finding your niche within the community can help you, because like we said before, it's not about that they don't know a real estate agent. You want them to know you are a real estate agent. So it's important to niche the community so that it makes sense, because if you don't have young kids, you're not going to post about the summer camp. But if you have, if you are really into restaurants and your town has a lot of restaurants, you could be like the restaurant, critic, and you could post a restaurant review, Friday community restaurant review. And I promise you, if you build a good relationship with stores and restaurants, if you say, hey, would you mind next month on the 10th, could I give out like a 10% discount or a free appetizer or, something? Could I give a free coupon and you can count how many people we have and whatever. Build that relationship, because most likely restaurants would love to do that. If you host, you could do a monthly get together or a grid of all the top, restaurants in the area or the stores in the area, like niche to what one you like Casey said before, it's about you, so if you like to read, maybe do a book club with your community. That's a great way that, yes, you're a real estate agent, but you're posting and doing things from more of a personal end, but they're still going to know that you're a real estate agent. Maybe have your virtual background on that has like your logo in it or something. So it's still top of mind, but you're doing something to interact with the community that isn't just, oh, here's the stats for the month, or here's my listing. The community can be huge, and it's definitely something that I feel like is untapped. I feel like a lot of people don't really utilize their community, and that's where you can, obviously, wouldn't you want to be number one in your community as a real estate agent. So by building those smaller communities, it can definitely help. Host a happy hour and just invite the whole town. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that. That's a great way, think of things that you don't see and don't think, oh, well, why aren't people doing this? It's probably because people don't feel comfortable to talking, being open and talking to a bunch of random strangers all the time. But book clubs are definitely a great way. Maybe even hosting, if you're really into cooking, like do a recipe swap, once a month, swap a recipe with everyone in town. Join the town Facebook groups if they allow you by your business page, because most of the time they allow you to post on a specific day. I believe it's usually like Mondays in most groups, but you want to join the group from your business page, not from your personal page. So if you are in the groups, definitely request from your business page as well. But niching the community can help so much. Like obviously, obviously Katie Lance is saying, post an article about upcoming events. That's generic and that's great. But you want to do at least one thing a month that is a niche in the community, because that's how you're going to build those relationships. And as you guys know, real estate is all about building relationships. So that's just another way that you can really hone in on a specific group and hopefully be their, go-to agent that they refer.
And that's a great point about niche in the community, because you want to make it tailored around, like what we said, so what you like to do, so that people know that you're involved in that sense. Also, any personal interests that you have. So like we said, if you are, speaking to families with people with families, you want to, make recommendations for your favorite family friendly places, or what great getaways there are, what winter break activities there are to do with your kids. So those are some really great ways to add that personal connection, where you're also talking to your specific target audience. She even has your favorite local sports team. So it doesn't have to be your favorite things, but it could literally be anything where you're showing your perspective, basically, of something. And then the last category that she has is home and design. And that could be anything from articles to posting maybe a house that you staged, or again, always around the holidays, even Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, holiday home decorating ideas. And it could be exterior ideas or interior ideas. So you can partner with a landscaping company or a local florist boutique to say how you can spruce up your front entrance. So a ton of different ways that you can plan out your content based on these different categories. There's a blank one that was included in the presentation, so I will make sure that I send that out to you guys as well.
Yeah, I put the link in there, and I did take a screenshot of Katie's ideas too. They're both in the chat, so that you guys have those, if you do want to use any of those ideas.
Perfect. These are additional content ideas, and we've talked about a lot of them. But one thing I just want to talk about again is important school dates and info. I think that's a huge thing, and a good way to really be niche in your community. Also, charity of choice, putting a link to where they can donate. That's huge. And also the one thing that we haven't really talked a lot about, but is very important, is behind the scenes, showing them what you do behind the scenes. So whether you're going on a home inspection or at the closing table, showing them a little clip of the behind the scenes. And again, it doesn't have to be video, it could be photos. Really, I think helps them understand you and how you work.
Yeah, and something you could do, and again, obviously, I don't know, I'm sure this has been done before, but I haven't seen it. If you have someone that puts in the post for you, go when he asks them when they're going to put it in, and take a video and just put across it, put it on your story and say new listing coming soon, because it's not against the rules, because there's no photo of the house. It's just a post going in the ground. You're not referring to a specific home. So it's not illegal in that type of way. And that's a great way to kind of stir up, and most likely people are going to continue checking, on your page. Something that, if you usually, the houses you usually sell are in a specific price point, doing those little things. I know personally, I'm looking for a house right now, basically in anywhere in northern New Jersey because of the market, but there's a specific real estate group that is very large in the area that I'm looking in some of the towns. And I make sure to look at their Instagram and Facebook every single day, because the odds that a house that is in my price point and I'm looking for like minimum 1 bed, 1 bath, very minimal, really 2, but at this point I'll take anything. And I know that they post it. I check their Instagram and Facebook every day. So posting like those behind the scenes and posting related to, if last year, if your average price point was 500, think about things that those people in that price point are looking for, tips, tricks, maybe specific vendors. You can niche that too, because everyone's at a different price point. And that could be something that, maybe someone comes to you because they're like, oh, I don't need someone who is in luxury, or I don't want someone that's doing just condos. Like, you are the person that I've seen. You've had multiple listings that look just like my home and they've gone fast, so posting that, you can niche that as well. And it's not going to be many posts. It's going to be maybe a few posts, but it still can niche you. Like I said, I saw that this one real estate group, almost every house they post is exactly in my price range, or maybe a little over, but still good to see. And that's why I look at theirs every day. So even that thing, that's not something you're going to be able to really do research on, but just posting maybe once a month about something that relates to the price point that you're listing in, or buyers that you're searching for, post about that. And that can help with niching just a little bit of the price point that you're usually listing in. And additionally to these, Casey and I have a page on our website, which I put in the chat as well. And this has all of our recorded classes, as well as some, how to create a YouTube channel, how to create an Instagram, how to do a Facebook. And then we have our social branding, overall tips and tricks, designs. I'll be adding this one, preparing your marketing. We kind of went over this in another class, but this one we have kind of some more examples. So setting up your digital presence for success in 2022. And then we have every single place that there's free content. And this is just like being a real estate in KW. This doesn't even exist. Obviously you can other resources, Pinterest and that kind of stuff. Like I said, the TC program is going to start posting free content for you guys to repost. That's a way to get free posts, but you have blogs, you have KW Outfront post an entire list. And I didn't update this for January yet. And I didn't see it, but they'll post an entire month every single day. It's not going to be free content. It's giving you the idea, which usually a lot of people say the idea is the part that they struggle with, not actually creating the content. So you can see, for example, November, they had spread the love, highlight 3 minority owned services providers, or, something that provides you with peace, or goodbye to daylight savings time. Here's a graphic. It gives you more so the ideas, but even if you just took one of these from each week, you'll have one extra post every week. And with those 5 original touches, you already have 10 posts for the month. So that's 2 a week, basically, or a little more than that. So just by using that, if you didn't want to think about filler content at all, using these and those 5 touch points that we talked about, you wouldn't have to think about posting it all every single month. It would be, your content hour would be coming here, going to Homekeeper, seeing what blogs they have, going to Outfront. National Association of Realtors has free blogs. They also do free stats. If you're in Ridgewood, we post a stat in the email we send you every week. I'm sure the other offices post stats as well. So it's definitely an easy way to not have to stress about actually finding content to post. You just have to make sure that I recommend, Casey and I are both very much about content calendar blocking. I recommend decide what day, like I said, that if it's every Wednesday. Personally for Fridays, I leave Friday as my back end work. I don't schedule any appointments. I leave that to make sure that my week is complete, and I don't leave for the weekend, stress that there's a bunch of things that need to get done. For you guys, obviously as a real estate agent, your schedule is different. So maybe it's Wednesday. Maybe Wednesday is a day that you, on average, do most of your back end work. Schedule from, maybe you do your lead gen in the morning, and maybe at night is best for you guys. Maybe it's 7 to 8. Plan 7 to 8 every second to last Wednesday of the month to do for the next month, or whatever works for you. But having it on your calendar will make it a lot harder to be like, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. So put it on your calendar. If it's on your, Sally always says, if it's on your calendar, it's in your heart, or I forget what she says, but she always says something like that, where if it's there, it's there. If it's not there, then it doesn't exist.
Yeah. And just a few quick slides to finish this off. And this is the most important. Have fun with your content. So it doesn't always have to be so serious. Show that funny side of you, show a sense of humor, lighten the mood a little bit. I think people like to see that there's a human being behind what's getting posted. So
build a snowman.
Yeah. Christmas tree, whatever you're doing, have fun with it.
Yeah. If the needles are everywhere in your house, take a picture of that. Makes people feel normal.
Exactly. And we briefly talked about this, but evaluating what has worked in the past, what hasn't, you know, if you have a business page, you could look at Facebook and Instagram insights to see what type of posts had the most reach and engagement, and do more of that kind of content in the future. And that will help you plan your strategy out. Was it a video? Was there, you know, a picture and text along with it, or, you know, what type of pieces really performed well, what content?
And like we said, it's not about the likes. The impressions will give you more insight on who's looking at what content more.
Exactly. And just because we said it, it's not about getting 1,000 followers. It's about getting the right followers too. So just a quick recap of everything that we reviewed. Obviously, we went into a lot more detail, but time block your schedule. This is probably the most important thing. Get in a routine every week and monthly as well. Create pillar content that you can commit to each month, and make it a little bit, you know, have a unique sense of self with that content that you're creating. Brainstorm what your brand is all about and find your voice within your content. Don't be vanilla. I love that. Decide on your distribution plan for your pillar content and the type of content that you're going to use for, you know, your other social media channels. And then lastly, evaluate what has worked in the past and what not. Whatever has worked, keep doing more of that. So I hope you guys found that helpful. Anybody have any questions? It's a lot of information, but again, key is time blocking and getting it done, building a calendar to do it, because that helps tremendously with your ideas, and you know, not having to think about it and become overwhelmed with it. Awesome.
Well, hope you guys enjoyed the class.
Yes.
Next week, let me look what it is. Is there anything you guys want to see for next week? We kind of like, or for the 19th, sorry. We kind of just lay it out. We will be talking about how to stay top of mind to all your consumers. So we'll be going more in depth on some of the ideas we talked about today, and maybe some events you can plan and things that you can do, not just posting, to make sure that you're keeping top of mind from all avenues of your business, digital, print, you know, events, everything. But if there's anything you guys are kind of interested, feel free to email me or Casey. I'll put our emails in the chat. We love to obviously tailor the content and what we talk about to what you guys are interested in. So definitely, if you have anything you want to learn more about, let us know. And we'll make sure to put in the calendar for later this month or next month too.
Great.